Hi Pisces, here's a general look at your solar chart for September 2013 and until the 23rd. It's not really the time to be going it alone. Always at this time of the year the sun is in your opposite sign, Virgo, and so you do better out of cooperative relationships or bonding with someone, maybe forming some kind of an alliance for whatever the reason, and there's this sense of mutual interaction going on that could be having a lot revolving around it. But that's the kind of, in a nutshell, of the position of the sun, and you being consulting with others, or others consulting with you, finding useful information through some kind of agency or go-between person, or just a partner or friend or somebody with an expertise perhaps, and them seeing you in that light, maybe somebody seeing you in that light, not necessarily the same people, but until the 9th, Mercury's in the same areas, so communications, personal or professional, and all sorts of collaborations are highlighted, and you're bouncing ideas off each other, and you could be impressed or less than impressed by somebody else's take on something, but at least it helps you to clarify your own. And you could be in relationship with someone whose guidance or information you find useful, and there may be more paperwork or correspondence because of a certain relationship, either because of them or it's centered around them. And in all cases, you need to express yourself as clearly and as accurately as you possibly can, so wires don't get crossed. And then from the 23rd, the sun moves, and that puts you into a sort of gear shifting phase, where you're moving from one set of maybe routines or habits or standpoint to another, but you're going to be more doing it in a more cautious or confidential kind of a way, maybe looking at the material or financial angle of a relationship, whether this is a relationship with somebody that you know personally or an outside agency type with whom you have a contract. So you're looking into that, and also you're likely to be more than a little aware of the emotional aspect in certain scenarios, or the requirements or needs. You've got to be sensitive to the requirements or needs of somebody else, and there could be a sense of sticking to your guns on something, or trying as best you can to meet somebody else's criteria, even though their priorities or schedules or whatever it is are different to your own. On the 9th, it could be a little bit heavier going there. You might feel a bit stymied there, by the way. Then from the 9th to the 24th, Mercury moves into the same into the same area as the sun was in from the 23rd. So the sun comes in there on the 23rd. It's coming out wrong. I'm thinking it one way and it's actually coming out of my mouth in another. What I'm trying to say is Mercury moves into the same area as the sun moves into on the 23rd, but Mercury is ahead of the sun and moves in there on the 9th. And so that means that discussions and ideas and maybe correspondence is centered around this more quite intense area, maybe more confidential area, trying to get to the bottom line on something, or the area where you've got to be more sensitive to somebody else's requirements, needs, wishes, schedules, just their behavior in some way, but also maybe keeping your cards closer to your chest, maybe giving confidential advice to somebody in a sensitive manner, or actually consulting with somebody as you seek confidential advice, and also thinking more about the financial angle of something, what's shared, what's yours, what's theirs, what was agreed before or what's being agreed now. And things could revolve around the financial side, the property, or just goods that are not completely 100% yours to do with as you wish. And at this time, you may be leaning towards giving or receiving intuitive guidance as well, because this area here is very much, what is beyond the veil. And you could be using that amazing sixth sense of yours, Pisces, if you've learned how to tap into it. And it does come quite naturally to you when you get that. And also anything to do with healing. This is quite a deep area of your solar chart. And counseling could be coming in here as well. Either you on the receiving end or the giving end. But definitely you could be feeling quite passionate about something or someone, or somebody could be feeling that towards you, hopefully both at the same time. But also it would be a little bit easier to push your buttons just now, but try to avoid knee-jerk responses and go with your deeper instincts. Now Venus, until the 11th, Venus could manifest as an influence which might help you out materially in a major way, if you're lucky, or maybe a minor kind of a way, just provide a sort of a buffer. Also, because it is a financial area, that means that you can do well in a negotiation type situation, if you play your cards right, of course, with this Venusian fair wind blowing in your direction here. You could be shifting, some of you, into more commitment in a relationship, in a love relationship, but also not just in an emotional sense, but in a material sense too, or somebody shifting into that, giving you a bit of a buffer, giving you a bit of a boost from that material angle in a relationship also. And a relationship could revolve around a shared space, shared property, or sort of shared anything really. And on another level, Venus here means that your feelings could be nearer the surface, and you could become, whether you like it or not, more intimately involved. Or I would say you probably like it, as a matter of fact. Somebody's not going to be stalking you. So it's a good time to have a heart-to-heart talk, or seek or give confidential advice, and it could bring a shift into a relationship, a new chapter into a relationship. From the 11th, so actually if you're listening to this in August, probably this is already, in the pipeline. From the 11th, places and faces at a distance, from the 17th, I think, of August, but places and faces at a distance may feel more friendly, warmer, closer. A personal, professional relationship could be connected to somebody at a distance that you're in communication with over the wires, or distant place, travel, foreign culture, or maybe it's an academic or advice-giving type environment that you're connecting to in this more friendly kind of vein, as it were. And if you have to connect with people in that way, then you're likely to find an ally there. And it's easier for you to connect with knowledge, with teaching, information or expertise, which helps balance your whole perspective on something, helps you join up the dots on something. If you're planning ahead on something, looking at schedules or itineraries or whatever. But maybe it's in a more spiritual kind of way, because actually this is quite a spiritual area. And an important encounter may be linked to an educational environment, or somebody to do with a different culture to you, or somebody at a distance, or indeed like a guru figure, or some sort of guide, really, energy. So that could help you there, because this is very, very warm energy. And also long distance contacts could be lucrative for you. It might just be working out like that in your chart. And another way it can work is you and someone could team up and share as you travel or launch into a new venture, or are planning ahead on something. So it's quite favorably highlighted, that area there. Just watch out for around about the 18th, 19th, when relating with others may feel like harder work. That's due to Venus flitting across the degree of Saturn in the skies. It doesn't last very long, but it can be a more emotionally or financially, in fact, challenging time. Try not to schedule anything too major, and maybe not do any kind of financial transactions, which is major, on those couple of days there. Best to arrange just to do your favorite Piscean thing, and keep your own company over those couple of days, because you can't expect too much from others. Mars is in an area of service, so this is quite a service-orientated month for you, Pisces, even though it's to do with relationships, a lot of it. But Mars is in an area of service, so cooperative relationships, you being there for others, you giving assistance in some way is more likely during this time, but also you working harder is more likely during this time. So just watch your step, because Mars does rule accidents, and also Mars rules just being completely exhausted and drained, because it would be easy for Mars here to run you ragged because of all the demands on you. So just be aware of that, and you can be successful in getting things how you want them to be, but you may be crossing swords at times with maybe colleagues or co-workers or others who are supposed to be either helpful or minding their own business, and they just seem to be getting in the way. But it could be also that you are in the receiving end of this. You are also needing others to be more helpful towards you, and needing others to work harder on your behalf or around you for some reason. So it can be working like that as well. It might be a little bit of everything, or it might be just one of those things. And just a quick mention of Neptune. Neptune for you early Pisceans born 21st to 24th of February, or with 2 to 5 degrees rising, you're going to feel Neptune's coming across your sun in your sign, and meaning that you are feeling more like serving in the community, perhaps, or serving or being of service to others. But don't become a doormat, don't become a martyr, and look after yourself, look after your boundaries, keep your shields up if necessary at certain moments. But also it's great, this one, for working in imaginative areas, as long as you can separate reality and what is that from where your imagination's going, and not being too pie in the sky, which is always a danger with Neptune very close to your sun. Castles in the air, or putting somebody on a pedestal, or just being so impressed by somebody or something, which if you dug a bit deeper through the glamour, through the allure, the aura, it isn't, all that glitters isn't gold. So, but it's very good for anything to do with charity work, anything to do with good work in the community, or for others, supportive work. Also anything to do with boating, the sea, catering, spirituality, healing. It's wonderful for anything like that. And of course, anything for yourself like yoga, relaxation, any nurturing pursuits. So trying to weave those into your daily life a little bit more mightn't be a bad idea. Jupiter began a new cycle in the back end of June, so this is a time when you may be appreciated more for your abilities, Pisces. Jupiter's long transit through Cancer is in a stunningly good angle to your sun sign, so you could be becoming more at the center of somebody's attention over this time. And also it encourages more spontaneity from you, even rather a self-indulgent sort of attitude. So, you know, don't perhaps burn the candle at both ends or let it slide too far. But yeah, self-indulgent, self-pampering, just feeling, you know, basking in somebody else's admiration now. That isn't anything that, you know, it's not a daily occurrence really. So that can happen under that transit there, but also you very much being, you know, having somebody else the center of your attention. So in a romantic sense, it could bring more romance and admiration into your life, but also in another way where you're just connecting very much in a non-judgmental, easy peasy kind of chilled way with others, and perhaps you're doing more things creatively and enjoying that creative vibe around you, or kind of channeling through you. Or maybe it's to do with the entertainment industry or entertaining side of things, leisure orientated pursuits and activities. And you could be growing through these sorts of areas, and also growing through maybe a speculative type activity which you don't quite know how it goes. It's going to go taking a bit of a risk. Could be in a relationship, could be something that financial, it could be something else, but you're just seeing how it goes, you know. Jupiter helps you to learn through here, and Jupiter will tend to well, bring you the lessons that you need to learn anyway. And you can shine more with Jupiter coming through this area here. So pick on those things that really make you feel good, really help you to feel your power, and then just let that radiance flow. And you Pisceans born the 3rd to the 9th of March, or with 13 to 19 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most. Just briefly, Saturn is in another water sign, again in a stunningly good angle to your sun sign. And over this long transit, coming out of there in 2015, properly anyway, you will be taking your ideologies, your maybe wider communications, publications even, education, legal matters as well, more seriously, having to work harder on those sorts of things, but being successful in the end if you are consistent and determined. You could be integrating a new understanding of something, becoming familiar with new concepts or a language or a jargon or a culture or a system of thinking or a belief system, or developing yourself through an ideology or a field of specialist knowledge, through education, through academia, through foreign lands even. And it'll be gradual, you know. There may be obstacles, there may be grey days, but it'll be you chipping away at a stone, chipping away a shape, as if you're chipping away a shape out of a stone. So be consistent, be patient, don't expect instant overnight results, and that should go well. Pisceans born 24th of February to the 1st of March, or with 6 to 11 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. And you will be, because of this wonderful connection between Saturn, Neptune and Jupiter in the water signs, positively underpinning your sign, then maybe apart from Neptune, which I mentioned, going through the proper channels or acquiring more knowledge through, you know, casting your nets wider life experience, connecting with those at a distance, or through academia, or through just getting educated on something. It can be convoluted and labyrinthine, if that's a word, but just hold the vision in the heart, in the eye of the heart, see it, and it will gradually materialize. So be careful, be creative, be careful, but be joyful with your expression. And that's it for September. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. They can give you another slant on what I've said here. And also, if you want to know what other slower moving outer planets are doing and which part of your sign they may be affecting this month, go to my website, because I update that every month. And I'll see you the next time.